this is the divine feminine now, relaxing. She's been through a lot. She's had to distance herself and recreate new circles of friends. She's had to find her own inner peace. Hey guys, what's going on? It's Twintuitive 717. I am back with another video. I hope you guys are doing incredibly well. Happy Saturday. So I wanted to come on and share a quick reading here today with you guys because I've been getting a specific message around the divine masculine and how much he is attracted to the feminine at this time. A lot of you are picking up on sexual energy, and the vibe that I'm getting is that when you guys do pick up on a lot of sexual energy resurfacing in your connection, you guys are anticipating communication, catching up, seeing where each other is on the particular part of the journey, how you guys are mirroring each other. I feel like that is what's coming up for a lot of you who are going to resonate with this reading. So the energy that I'm getting is that, this divine feminine has been very caught up in the world, being a social butterfly, connecting, getting out there again. And the purpose of doing that was it's for her to experience herself embodying the feminine energy after coming out of hermiting for so long. I feel many of the divine feminines were forced into the hermit position when the tables were turned, where the masculines were running from this connection. The feminines really had to stay put and separate herself from what it is the masculine was doing or how he was perceiving this connection, and really stick to her own authentic truth. And I feel like that's been a lot of the growth that has been happening with the feminine collective. And since you guys put the focus back into yourselves, the rewards and the outcomes of that are creative endeavors. You guys have found a lot of your purpose by finding your inner truth, by accepting yourselves, by peeling off the layers that just don't resonate with you anymore. And those layers might have a lot to do with circumstances, situation, people, old habits, old jobs, just old ways of being. And it just no longer aligns with who it is you wish to be, since you've been learning so much about embodying your own feminine energy. So a lot of you have experienced a lot of changes, especially when it comes to what it is you want to do here in the world. And many of you are associating the feminine energy with collaborating, sharing unconditional love, nurturing the planet or its people somehow, its animals, the environment around you. And you're starting to see that there's a lot of abundance to be experienced within the feminine energy when she connects with her own inner truth and she taps into that space of unconditional love. Many of you will start seeing that all you need to do is, close your eyes and put focus into your desires and manifest things into your reality. I feel like it's very much the masculine template, which the feminine at times has embodied a lot because of the overall paradigm on the planet. Like the overall charge on the planet is like that toxic masculine template, so much that even divine feminines who feel very feminine at the core were experiencing toxic femininity because of that paradigm. But now many of you are starting to see that, to embody the feminine energy, it doesn't take planning and strategizing and old patterns of thinking that you have to work really hard to get what it is you want in life. Like all of these outdated beliefs they're fading from your energy frequency. Many of you are ascending on this twin flame path, and so you're starting to just sit down and really tap into, first of all, what it is you really want to experience here. And many of you as well are seeing just how hard it is to sort through the many thoughts in our head just to arrive at the place where we can be sure about what it is we want. And yeah, for those of you who have really gone down that path, you're really nailing it in terms of seeking out opportunities for yourself, bringing people together, bringing things together, and just expanding around you. And I feel like that is the divine feminine's energy as well, is just to be very fertile, so that when she does come into contact with other people in a very spiritual way, in a very authentic way, there's just a lot being created. It's not only like business wise or business opportunities. I'm saying like new relationships are being formed, new ideas are being sparked. People are feeling encouraged by her. People are feeling inspired by her. And it all has to do with the way that she carries herself in this world. Now, that's another message I've been picking up on in terms of like the way you carry yourself, divine feminine. That's what your masculine's attracted to. And I was getting a really clear message this morning. Like I was just like chit-chatting with myself, and the message that I got, I'm not sure if it was like my higher self communicating at the time, but it was like a really clear message of saying like, it's not about your looks, it's the way you carry yourself. And I felt like that was a strong message for those of you who resonate with the divine feminine energy. Like that's what your masculine is wanting to say. That's what I was feeling, that it is just the way you are. Many of the divine feminines as well are just, you know, getting back out there into the world, socializing, and like she's seeing it happen in her reality, where after all of this hermiting, this growing, being able to see past the third dimension, now that she's back like on the scene, there is a lot of like people that are attracted to her energy. And I think the old her would have not known what was happening, but the renewed version of her, okay, and I said it in the last video, but it's like the energy of like the phoenix that has risen. You know, it's almost like I see the empress sitting at her throne and just, you know, observing and knowing what's happening before it even happens. And I think that energy is quite magnetic to your divine masculine, as much as he feels this energy of being, you know, a little bit jealous, feeling like he wants to be possessive, have that all to himself. You know, it's interesting because last night too, when I was thinking about this energy, I pictured a divine masculine, let's say, sitting on his bed, on his phone, or even at his computer. And, you know, he's keeping an eye on his divine feminine and just kind of watching the way she's socializing and, you know, watching a lot of this focus on her. And I see him fighting off the energy as like having to take a really deep breath and let it out really, really slowly. And that might resonate for a lot of you in terms of just knowing how your masculine is. Maybe even like, you know, rubbing his forehead and rubbing his hair back and turning his phone off and throwing it on the bed and just going out and working out or going for a run or whatever. I got that. I just turned my speakers up. I just got that message there. You know, that's what he does. He just turns the speakers up and he tries to, you know, let it out. But they're letting it out in a lot more positive ways. Like, again, getting exercise and getting rid of that energy, because now they're not sitting around trying to analyze and, you know, like they're getting out of that energy of like, you know, like stalking, like, you know, when you're on social media and then something triggers you and so you click on one profile and that leads you to another and then your mind starts going off. And, you know, these are very real things that happened to the divine feminine, and now the masculines are experiencing it as well. Many masculines are going through exactly what their feminine went through, and I think that's why many of the feminines as well are you know, being guided down this path to really just put a lot of action and care into like celebrating herself, and that's what's keeping her grounded and very steady in the world, while the masculines go through a lot of these heavy changes. And it's the universe's way of saying to them, you know, you can do it. You know, decide what it is you clearly want. And when you decide what it is you want by focusing less on the outside world and focusing more on yourself, they're connecting with their thoughts a lot more. You know, many of them are, again, getting really physical out there, because I feel like they're starting to tap into either like exercise or meditation, or even like hiking, working on like their cars, for example, painting, doing a lot of creative projects that they might have you know, done before. I'm getting like a spray paint can, so I'm not sure if any of your masculines like to like draw, or they're artists, or they like messing around with spray paint and stuff like that. They're just doing stuff like that a little bit more, you know, even like tapping into the feminine energy, as far as starting to realize that many of them have skills that they can take with them and start their own side business. They're starting to like get on social media and create business profiles for a lot of their skills. Whereas before, I feel like many of them were on autopilot, like, you know, working on a routine, working on a schedule, working on somebody else's time. But since observing the feminine and even tapping into a lot of her energy, they're also tapping into letting go of that old paradigm that you don't have to work as hard, or I get many of these masculines are out there in jobs where they don't really like being told what to do, and that is their birthright. It's part of their divine purpose, part of their blueprint that they're supposed to awaken to in terms of, being the boss and being the leader, because the reason they're being, awakened in this way is because many of them have the ability to lead from a compassionate place. A lot of them are facing scenarios in the outside world where, since awakening, they don't want to have like a shitty boss telling them what to do. It's like an alpha thing, kind of like a masculine thing, right? So when they awaken to the divine masculine energy, they're starting to see that the role should be reversed here, and they should be, treating other people with respect and encouraging them on the job and things like that. So that's where that balance is taking place in terms of like them tapping into their feminine energy just by like observing you, allowing themselves to love you, to watch you, and to feel happy for you, divine feminines. And that like love, or that in love feeling, is allowing them to just get these epiphanies about, their work life and things like that, being more of a leader. So yeah. Oh gosh, guys, 10 minutes in, and that was a lot of channeling. Sorry about that, guys. I'll try to timestamp it if I can, or if any of you catch it in the comments, and if you could kindly timestamp it for me, I'd really appreciate that. But let's go ahead and just do like a quick 3-card reading here. I'll give it a quick shuffle here, because what I'll do is I'll just cut the deck so we get three messages. And guys, I have my beautiful cat tarot deck here as well. So I'm going to draw from this deck first, just to get like the feminine's energy. And guys, if you're new to the channel, what I normally do is like, I will channel messages, and after I do the channeled messages, I will pull the cards to see how they reflect the channeled messages. Okay, so because this deck I feel is like super cute and playful, I'm gonna use it for the feminine energy, just to see again like how the masculine is perceiving you, what he's thinking when he looks at you. Okay, so again, let's go ahead and cut it in half as best as we can. Let's see what's up here. Yeah, so the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords here comes up because I feel like, this is the divine feminine now relaxing. She's been through a lot. She's had to distance herself and recreate new circles of friends. She's had to find her own inner peace, cut out, again, a lot of old thinking, a lot of old habits, a lot of old patterns. And now that she's done this, she's able to just, really sit back on this cozy couch and relax. And I feel like sitting back on this cozy couch is just a message about how the feminine feels now. And this is what he admires about you. And I feel that many of the divine feminines have worked, really hard to come to a place of peace and realize that, life goes at her own pace. She calls the shots. And yeah, she's earned her ability to just kind of sit back and relax. I feel the Queen of Swords energy also coming up as now the divine masculine is very much well aware of that clean energy that he has to approach this connection with. I was talking about this on Patreon last night, just letting people know how, I don't necessarily like the term, come correct. Like, you better come correct. I don't know why, guys, and maybe some of you might not think it's such a big deal, but I don't know, I guess for me, like, the way I saw it was, come clean. I channeled 2 songs, which was Simple and Clean by Kingdom of Hearts, and what was the other one by Hilary Duff? I can't remember, but it was something to do with clean, coming clean, I guess. Oh my gosh, a squirrel just literally flew from my neighbor's roof onto a tree. Oh gosh, that was really cute. But yeah, it's just these messages about coming clean, like they're, cleaning up shop in terms of like their energy, their behaviors, their attitudes, the way they view life, having more of an appreciation. And that's that Queen of Swords energy. In order to get to that appreciation, you have to surround yourself with healthy things. And that includes people. It includes thoughts in your head. It includes being kind to yourself. So yeah, I really do feel like this is a symbol of how he sees you, and how much of an effect you're having on him right now in terms of that swords energy. Really, I want to say bossing up, I guess. Really bossing up, divine feminines. And this energy is flowing into your divine masculine's life as well. But for him, it's like specifically that dynamic I was speaking about, where he's at work now kind of scratching his head going, you know what, I could probably take the skills that I do have and make this into a side business of my own. And they're starting to like realize they can navigate and have clients of their own, because I'm telling you, like, these divine masculines I'm channeling for, they do not like taking orders. They don't like it. They feel like they could do a better job, and that's the universe reminding them of that divine masculine template within them, and the balance that they are here to bring as part of their purpose. All right, so let's go ahead and get a romantic message. What does he think about? Oh, beautiful. What does he think about when he's alone at night? I feel many of them are coming into this beautiful space as well of just, allowing themselves to, again, think about their desires and what it is they want. And I think it was Wickedly Divine Feminine who was talking about this last night. I was actually listening to one of her readings. So check out her reading on the channel where she titled it, I've Had One Too Many, and there's like a little beer emoji. Guys, if you haven't checked out her channel, she drops some beautiful gems. You really, really, really got to just like check out her playlists, her readings. She talks a lot about the Empress energy. That's one of my absolute favorite series of videos that she's done. Again, that's Wickedly Divine Feminine. She was talking a lot about the masculine energy, like, experiencing this new beginning when it comes to love and like passion. And I feel like the ace here is the like what they're feeling now, right? Like a lot of these changes here are making them feel more comfortable within themselves. And when they feel more comfortable within themselves, they're able to now think about, okay, authentically, what it is do I want? They want to experience love. They want to experience passion, softness, tenderness. Many of them never thought that they would get married or have families, and now they see this possibility within the divine feminine, and they do not care about the obstacles anymore. And I feel like this change is happening because of stuff that's being initiated with them in their physical world, like in their work situations, again, igniting those leadership qualities within them. So when that gets ignited, now when it comes to taking control of the romance and love and their sexual desires that they feel, they know that the divine feminine is their number one. They want this, and they want to let themselves experience this beautiful tenderness, the warmth of a woman's touch, holding you, kissing you. Wickedly Divine Feminine said something really cute, like even just like, sitting on your lap. The video was just about the masculines, having one too many and coming home, and instead of it being like a tumultuous environment, the divine feminine kind of just sits them down and takes care of them, type of thing. It's like they haven't had that type of experience. And for many of the masculines, guys, like, they have never allowed themselves to ever think about relationships in this way, again, because of that heavy divine masculine template. For them, it's more just you enter a relationship and you work off of autopilot. You get into it because of certain contracts, or maybe what looks good on paper, or again, going back to this message of it's the way the divine feminine carries herself. They're seeing that in order to be in a loving, fulfilling relationship, you gotta do more than just look good. Like, they've been in situations where they've entered relationships with other women just simply because she looked good, and then what was to come after that was disaster. Someone who looks good, takes care of their appearance, but doesn't know how to drive themselves around, doesn't know how to cook a meal for themselves, doesn't know how to clean up after themselves. And those things were major red flags for the divine masculines, because I think, like, for them, they saw it as just a reminder of getting into a role where you're not building with someone, but you're rather like having to take care of someone. And I feel like many of the divine feminines as well have gone through these types of lessons. So they're starting to see that there's so much more depth to being in romantic connections and experiencing this type of love. And again, it's the way the feminine carries herself. Like, not only does she look good, but she takes care of business type of energy. Do you know what I mean? It's like, before he was so intimidated by this, and now that he's awakening again to being this like stallion is what I get, like this really strong stallion, he sees now why the divine feminine has gone through so many changes, and why at one point she seemed so intimidating because, you know, it's almost like she was trying to like mirror that back to him. And now that she has been doing that, believe me guys, like they're having a lot of epiphanies in the outside world right now. So if many of your masculines are like silent, like MIA, that's, you know, the energy I feel is like that's a good thing right now. I feel like old patterns for you guys would be them ghosting you, but then you would catch them on social media doing all kinds of nonsense, or photos of them making it seem like they're having a good time and doing all of that stuff. But no, like a lot of these masculines are just MIA from the world. Like they don't want to be seen, they don't want to be heard. Like it's just, for them, they are on their inner path right now. And as the divine feminines know, that definitely takes a period of solitude for you to experience. All right, so we're going to end this off with a nice romance card here, just for the outcome of this energy and what's coming up, what's to be expected. All right, so you deserve love. This is a clear message for the divine masculines that's coming up with this Ace of Swords card here. It's the universe's way of saying that the reason that you're starting to welcome this kind of energy into your life, divine masculine, is because you deserve it. You deserve to experience that love that you've always thought about and dreamt of, and maybe secretly seen other people experiencing it, and maybe thought to yourself, I would really like to have that someday. You know, you deserve it. And I feel like your language also is changing around how you feel about that as well, knowing that you deserve it rather than wishing and hoping for it. And I think that at this time your divine feminine has shown you in several different ways, even past the physical, through like dreams and signs and symbols and synchronicities, that, you know, you guys are on this path together. Whatever obstacles appear in the way, you guys might be married, you guys might have kids, like whatever the case is, you both can't stop the feeling of loving each other and being in love just because there's perceived obstacles or contracts in the way. You're still being guided to be authentic with how it is you feel for one another. And believe me, by expressing that truth, you guys will be surprised what comes out of this journey. All right. If you guys want to connect with me for a one-on-one session, you can reach me on wizio.com. Otherwise, if you want to connect more one-on-one or on a personal level, get extra support, you can hit me up on Patreon and join the Mega Crew 717. We're an awesome bunch and we would love to have you guys. All right, so I'm gonna enjoy my Saturday. The weather's nice. I hope you guys do too. Enjoy your weekend. I know for us Canadians it's the May 2-4, so yeah guys, stay safe, enjoy yourselves, have a beer for me. I love you guys, take care, and I'll speak to you soon. All right, bye.